Brendon, I was just trying to do the maths. Is Tom Cleverley the fifth manager you've worked under here at Home Park?
I think so, yeah. Lowy, Shuey.
Oh, it might be six then if you were here for Lowy.
Fozzie, Miron, Rooney. Sixth.
Yes, six.
Yeah,
So,
Start the quiz early.
yeah. Quiz for you in a minute, actually. But anyway. Well, funny enough, I was only going to ask you about a couple of them, but I mean, obviously you come up against Shuey on Saturday. What are your memories of working under Shuey?
Yeah, we had good memories. The League One season where we went up with the points tally, amazing. Really good young coach that I think can go to the top.
And obviously you were here under Miron. You only managed to play that 190 minutes, so how difficult and frustrating was that for you?
Yeah, frustrating when a new manager comes in and, you know, we train and then first game, unfortunately got injured. But, you know, I was there, I was in every day trying to support the lads through what was a tough period, and I was in and around it. So, yeah, it was tough, but, you know, part of the job is that when you're not playing, you still have to be a support system for the lads that are, and just try and be as positive as you can around the place.
I mean, how difficult was it seeing them struggling out there but not being able to help?
Yeah, it's one of the worst feelings in the world when, you know, you can't help your teammates. You know, we're like a brotherhood, so, you know, you want to be out there, you want to be fit and available for the manager, for your teammates, for the football club. And yeah, it was frustrating. But also, you've then got to take a step back and try and support them as best as you can and try and cheer them on. You know, when we lost games, try and still come in positive and try and especially help the young ones that might be in their first situation like that. So just try and help them.
How good has it been to be fully fit and available for pre-season?
Yeah, I feel amazing. Best I felt in a while. Had a real good pre-season, and you know, I feel like myself. I feel great. Also, still trying to manage my body, but feeling good to be back out there.
Is that something? How much you had to learn to do that over the years? Because I mean, obviously, you know, your problems with injuries are well documented, aren't they?
Yeah, I've had to learn massively just to deal with the body, but also I think more to deal with the mental side of it. With you know, when you feel like you take 2 steps forward, and then all of a sudden you get injured and you have to take a few steps back, and then having to recover. Not being able to train with the boys, not being able to put the green shirt on. So I think mentally I've had to deal with it, and I've learned a lot as well from that side of things, just to stay strong, stay positive. You know, there's light at the end of the tunnel always, so you know, you got to put in the work and you'll get back out there.
And how have you found life under Tom Cleverley? Because I mean, you played alongside him at Everton, I think, is that right?
Yeah, I played with him. Yeah, really good manager. I think he'll go to the top as well. You know, you see early signs, you know, the sessions are always really good, sharp, intensity, clear messages. So, yeah, I think that we've got a bright future under him.
What's the mood like in the camp at the moment?
Yeah, good. Obviously disappointed with Saturday, but it's one game. You know, we can't get too down. Same way when we win, we can't get too above ourselves. We've got to keep a middle level. So, you know, that's been put to bed. We've worked hard in training this week and we're ready for another challenge on Saturday.
Has anything been said this week about social media? I don't think you're particularly heavy on social media as far as I can see, but obviously a lot of the lads are. Has anything been said to you? Because there was a lot of grief directed at one of your colleagues, wasn't there? Yeah,
you know, just a few bits have been said on it, but I think that the main thing is that I'm behind all my teammates and I'll support them through everything. And I'm sure all the lads will, all the coaching staff will, all the non-playing staff will. So I think that we're all together as one. And I'm not really heavy on social media, especially just because I know that anyone can say anything. So, you know, I think for my mind, I'm not really too much on it. But whatever's happened, we support our players. And you know, I'm here for them whenever they need me, and it's a tough time, but we just stick together as always.
Because you know your fan base well. Were you a little bit surprised at all that?
Yeah, to be honest, I was. Like I said, I didn't really know exactly what happened because I'm not into social media like that. But I was a bit surprised because I think that since I've been here, this is now my 5th season, I think, and we're a family. You know, we win together, we lose together. It's a family environment. It's a family club. The way that they welcomed me here was amazing. The way that I felt here the last 4 years has been amazing. And the one big thing is the support system. So I was a bit surprised, but you know, it's only a small group. You know, we can't forget that we have amazing fans and very supportive fans. So, you know, we're not going to let a small minority, you know, change our opinions.
Thank you, Brendon. I might come back with the quiz. We've got time, but
thank you.
Hello, Brendon. And just following on from that topic that Alan's asked you about, you had your open training session on Monday where you get to see loads of young fans, kids, parents, all super excited to see you. So that sort of puts a different sort of perspective on it, doesn't it? Yeah,
for sure. I love those days. You know, the fans can come see a bit of insight into training, about the work that we put in, the detail maybe that goes into the sessions, and obviously for the younger generation, I know that they're on school holidays, so it's something for them to do as well. And hopefully we can inspire them. You know, there might be young children in the stands that are watching that could be the future of this football club. So to be able to train in front of them and give them a bit of inspiration, you know, is amazing.
What was the injury that you suffered against Oxford in Mirren's first game, and how tough was the rehab?
It was a grade 4C rec fem, so top of the quad, completely ruptured it. Had to have surgery, and the rehab was tough. You know, I think that every single rehab you have is tough, but especially that one because you know pretty much your season's over. So the timeline that I was expected back was about I was ready to play 2 weeks after the season finished, so you know automatically you know that your season's over. So it was tough, but you know, like I said, I've got good people around me. The physios helped me, the coaches helped me, my teammates helped me, family helped me. So you know, if you have that support system and people encouraging you and seeing the positive in things, then it makes rehab a lot easier.
I think it's fair to say that collectively the defence last week wasn't good enough, the whole team.
Yeah.
And when we saw the manager, he said, well, if we need to work on it in training, we will do. How much focus has there been on defending, not just the defence, but the whole team? Yeah,
I think the defending on Saturday, it weren't like us. And, you know, we've watched it back, we've analysed it, we've talked about it, we've trained hard this week to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes. And yeah, I think sometimes in football those things happen, and it's about reactions, it's about the next ball, the next action, you know. We don't want to think too much about it because we've got another big game coming up. So we train hard on it as well. So now that's in the past, and you know, the future is on Saturday, and we need to be a lot better and a lot more aggressive and just a lot more conviction in what we do.
You've basically played left back against Bristol City and Barnsley. We know you better as a centre back, although we have seen you play at left back a few times as well. How do you feel about playing in that position? I mean, central defence more comfortable for you, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. But I think, you know, anytime you're able to put on the green shirt, you know, whatever position I get asked to play, you know, there's no complaints about it. I try and do it to the best of my ability because playing for this football club is special. So to me, of course, centre-back's my favourite position. But if I get asked to do a job anywhere on the pitch for the team, for the manager, I'll be more than willing to do it.
And we know from speaking to you before how keen you are to play for Argyle as often as you can. Yeah. But we also know you're proud to play for your country as well.
Yeah.
and there is the prospect of the Africa Cup of Nations coming up at the end of the year, which would be a huge deal. That must be on your mind, and how would you balance that with your club commitments between now and then?
I think it's going to be it's a big thing for me. Obviously, AFCON's huge in Africa, and it's going to be a huge honour. I think for now, I think that my main focus is Argyle, but I've also got the thoughts of AFCON coming up in my mind, and the mentality that I've got to have is just to stay as fit as I can, look after the body as much as I can, because I don't want to miss any football at all for Argyle this season, and in international breaks for Zimbabwe. Hopefully I just keep on doing everything right off the pitch to stay fit, recovery wise. I think now I know my body better, so hopefully I can. I've had to tweak a few things, but hopefully I can stay fit for the whole season. That's one of the aims this season personally for me.
Yeah, play well, stay in the team at Argyle, and everything else follows, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take one game at a time, and after the games, make sure that I recover well, train hard during the week, and hopefully selected the next game, and then hopefully get selected for the AFCON squad.
Thanks for your time. Good luck on Saturday.
Cheers. Thank you.
Tom, same question to start this week. Where are you at with your search for number 9?
I'm not too much to bring this week, other than that we've got a significant bid in place. That for one now, it's progressing very slowly, but I'm confident that by the end of the window we certainly have that shirt filled. It'll be someone that has been worth the wait, and it'll be someone that will get the club and the city excited. So watch this space on that one still.
Is that the same player as you were talking about last week?
It may be, it may not be. I think you're barking up the right tree. Enough said.
Fair enough. And where you stand with strikers that are currently in the house at the moment? Is Bim fit now?
Yeah, Bim's back. He was trained this morning. He'll be available for the game. Only been out for 10 days or so he doesn't need a period of time to get his fitness back, or to sort of a modified process that we sometimes have to do with the longer term injuries. Bim's ready to go. So good news on that front. Caleb Roberts also returns, trained this morning. A bit more unfortunate news will be Joe Edwards will miss out. Slight hamstring issue from last weekend, and the same with Freddie Osaka, a bit more significant thigh injury. I think we're 5 on the sidelines. We did regain 2 of those, but we've lost 2, so we're still 5.
Okay. How long do you think the skipper may be out for?
A couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll treat. He's had a scan. We'll treat it symptomatically, and should only be a couple of weeks.
We touched on Bim. Were you surprised at how well Caleb did as that sort of false number 9 for you last weekend?
No, he's an intelligent footballer, and those players can adapt. Again, it's something I did last season when we were short in the area. I used Edo Kayembe there for my previous club, but he wants to run in behind. He wants to press aggressively. He wants to be he's sharp in the box, and I thought he was a constant threat. He's worked on his finishing a lot recently, and it's nice to know that he's a live option for if ever we did have that problem at number 9 again.
We spoke to Brendon this time last week, and it was clear just how excited he was, looking forward to making his debut. How is he now? Because he got a little bit of a savaging, didn't he, on social media, which really wasn't very good.
Yeah, he's trained well this morning, really well. Listen, we're not going to sit here and lie and say he had the rosiest of 48 hours after the performance. I think he's in good hands with the support networks he's got, and specifically myself. I went through that on a pretty astronomical level for a very, very big club, and I was that person for not just one weekend but for a few months. So I know how I dealt with that, rightly or wrongly, and I'll guide him through this little period. But this morning's training session is the first time I've saw a real bubbliness about him again, and we must respect and acknowledge the majority of our fan base that's got right behind him.
How did you deal with that?
I mean, we're going off piste a little bit here, but I was early 20s, and a lot of that was sort of dark rooms and locking yourself away. It's not easy when you live in the city that you play for. So yeah, I can pass on my experiences, both good and bad, and how the best way is to get out of these little sticky periods, because football, you're going to suffer these moments in football, but he's got an incredible amount of support from within, from outside the football club, and we know he's a good player, and he didn't show his best version, but he'll be fine.
You saw Bolton at Stockport on Sunday. It sounds like they were pretty unlucky to lose, actually. What did you think?
Yeah, I'd echo that. I thought first half they were very good. Some excellent players in their side, and it'll be a tough test for us. We know both teams suffering an opening day defeat will probably make both sides grit their teeth a bit more to get that first win, and it'll be a big challenge. You know, they've spent good money and on an already strong squad, and it'll be a tough afternoon, but we've got plenty of quality for them to be worried about as well, and I think it'll be two good teams going at it, and a good game of football.
Best of luck. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks.
Hello, Tom. Dale Taylor at Nottingham Forest was a player that Argyle were very strongly linked with and reported to have made a bid for. It's been announced today that he's signed for Blackpool. Given that, is there any comment that you would make about Argyle's interest in Dale Taylor? No. You know, he was a player that we liked and were interested in. It's I think someone asked me the question a couple of weeks ago of has the transfer market had any geographical challenges, and I would say in the last 10 days, yes. 10 days ago, no. Everyone who we've signed is fully embracing the place, the club, as me and my staff did as when we got offered the job. But the last 10 days we've had a few geographical knockbacks, and listen, that's what it is. We want people who are fully invested. So if even if someone was doubting and umming and ahhing, for me that's a no. You have to be all in here, and the more of those characters we have, the better. I've reported on the club for many years, and you're not the first manager to highlight the geographical location of Plymouth as an issue to signing players. It's a regular source of conversation over the years. Have you got any thoughts, ideas on how you go about trying to negate that? People sometimes say, well, you just have to offer them more money to come down here. What are your thoughts, say, on taking that approach where you pay extra to try and get them to come down here? No, I wouldn't do that, because that's telling me that the player has had doubts initially about coming down here. I can speak from my own experience now. You guys know I'm down here 6 days a week, but for the one time a week that I do have to travel, it's absolutely fine. You can be productive. You've got all the technology in the world now that you can be productive on your travels. So yeah, the travelling for me has been a productive part of my routine, if anything. So listen, we can't move where we are on the map, but we can sort of create a little bit of a siege mentality that not everyone wants to be here. So let's really acknowledge and respect the people that are, and really fighting, rolling the sleeves up to be part of this, and they're the characters we need. I think it's fair to say that a lot of the fans are frustrated that the club haven't been able to bring a number 9 in. Now, I'm sure there's lots of work going on behind the scenes, but how frustrated are you? You're the head coach. You have the squad to work with. How frustrated are you that you still haven't got a number 9? No, I wouldn't. You know, the head coaches were quite spoilt, and I wouldn't just focus on
The position of the 9, you know, our squad is thin at the minute. We have not much defensive cover, so I'm concerned about that area of the pitch. When Caleb Roberts was out last week, I think midfield looks a bit light, so I think we need one in each. I'm not fully focused on the 9. I thought on Saturday we looked dangerous going forward, and we created chances, and Caleb was a big part of that. So yeah, it is the position that gets everyone excited. It's a huge shirt in terms of context for the whole city. The number 9 for Argyle has got huge significance, but for me, I think we need one in every line. So defend the midfielder and attacker.
You said that the club have got on offer a significant bid, I think was the phrase you used for a striker. And then you said we've got till the end of the transfer window. Are you then suggesting that this could take another couple of weeks before this deal could come off?
Yeah, I mean we're not in the position to just be splashing cash willy-nilly. So the striker that we lost out on, it was a significant bid that we made for him. So it's not a financial thing that we're missing out on these deals. You know, it's either the opposite club, or in the end it might be the player has looked at his family situation and decided against it. So it's something that may last another couple of weeks. It's not ideal. I'll go back to it. We made some incredible early business in this window. Before even I was sat in this seat, we had Watts, Ibrahim, Patterson, Amici, Mackenzie, all before 7 weeks ago I was even here. So early business was fantastic. Then we've added 4 or 5 more since I've been here. Now the final pieces of the puzzle are still there to be done and need to be done, but I think it's quite normal that a lot of business happens in the last week of the window.
So just for the clarity of my own mind, if nothing else, there's a significant bid on the table for a striker, and the club are working on that deal as we speak.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned the centre-back as well, because you've said before, you know, you might like to add in that position. Is there anything you can tell us about where you're at, or where the club are at in that?
A very strong chance we have a centre-back on loan for this weekend. Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah.
You know, particularly after, you know, the struggles last week. Can you tell us any more about who that is, where they're coming from, or anything like that? No.
Until he's our player, I won't mention any individuals. When you think of a loan, you might think of a young player. He's not. He's got experience. So it'd be a player in his mid-20s who's got experience, and we're hoping that deal comes off in the next 24 hours in time for him to be involved on Saturday. Because with Julio having his, I'll give you an update on Julio if you'd like it.
Yes, please.
He's had surgery this morning, so he'll be out for quite a while. And with Joe missing, we're down to bare bones on that back line. So this is an important deal for us.
Julio knee injury. What did they find? What led to the surgery taking place? Yeah,
so that one probably next week I'll give you as much detail as I can give you. He's just come out of theatre. He's messaged me. I've spoke to him personally, so all's gone well. But it will be a significant period of time we'll be missing him for.
And as you said, you've got Bim and Caleb back, which is good, and then you lose Joe and Freddie. What's the issue with Freddie? Because that sounded like it was going to be a bit more long term.
Yeah, Freddie will be about the 4-week region. So yeah, listen, we're quite. I'd like to think we're quite reflective as a staff, and we've obviously looked. Is there anything that we're doing? Because to have this amount of injuries so early in the campaign is alarming. Now, at the similar stage last season at my previous club, we'd had no injuries. So we've done a very similar pre-season in terms of loading. You can always look at the pitch, changing pitch, going from a soft spongy one in Austria back to here where it's firm, hard. We look into all these things to make sure that these injuries can be kept a lid on. Make sure the players are being as professional as they can be, doing their part of the deal. yeah, we're looking into a lot on why we have had a little spike in injuries, because if you're going to run with a small squad, yeah, you need to be good in that department.
What's Freddie's issue?
Thigh.
Yeah,
muscular.
Yeah, I mean, you must feel as though you've not had much luck when it comes to the injuries, because since you've come in, it's been one after another, and as you say, it doesn't sound like you're doing anything different to what you've done before. So that's just bad luck, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll always take where's the solution, then use it as an excuse. I've got full faith in whoever we put out there on a Saturday or a Tuesday, and yeah, if anything, we didn't get points on Saturday, but we found out that if we need Caleb Watts to do a job at 9, we can. We wouldn't have maybe known that before. So yeah, wherever there is a bit of a crisis or something we can use as an excuse, there's always a better solution, and that's what I'll go for. So I will present our injury list to you. I won't be crying about it.
Stephen Schumacher was a very successful manager at Argyle. The last time they were in the division, they won with 101 points with him as manager. Have your paths crossed with Shuri before? What do you think of him as a manager, a rival manager? Yeah,
we have. I think we've only managed against each other once when he was at Stoke last season. I think when you come into a football club, you have to respect what's gone before you, and especially those who have been successful before you. So absolutely, I've done quite a bit of reviewing of that campaign where they managed to get 60 points here and be sufficient on the road, and what worked and what didn't that season. So yeah, absolutely, that was a fantastic campaign with 101 points, going up with Ipswich and beating Sheffield Wednesday to the automatic as well. From what I've seen, top guy. I'm really close with Richie Kyle, his assistant, and yeah, there's a lot of connections in the staff on Saturday, and let's hope we come out on top.
One last one from me, Tom. Along with the location in terms of trying to get players down here, another issue that all Argyle managers have to deal with is away travel and how you go about doing it, and what's the best way, best way to try and get the best possible performance. Have you got thoughts on how you're going to travel? Do you leave first thing on a Friday? Do you leave later on? What's the thoughts about trying to give the players the best possible preparation for away games?
Yeah, so I'm not got anything weird and wonderful for you, I'm afraid. It's going to be as simple as we'll move training forward a little bit. Tomorrow morning we will stop, get the lads off the bus, stretch their legs and break the journey down into 2 parts. And then, yeah, we'll get there in time for dinner and watch the evening game. I think Birmingham Ipswich we've got tomorrow, so nothing weird and wonderful. We'll make sure the nutrition and everything on the bus is correct, but yeah, it's more importantly will be the journey back on a Saturday after they've performed to their maximum for 90 minutes. When you've got a game on Tuesday, you've only got 2 days in between a Tuesday game. That's a really important journey where can we get recovery strategies on? Can we get nutritional, the best nutrition and hydration they can after the game? That's more important. But for me, it's normal that a footballer in the English Football League can travel 5-6 hours on a Friday afternoon and be able to handle that.
Safe travels. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Very one for me. We spoke immediately after the game last week, didn't we? And were you pleased with a lot of aspects of the game? Is that a sort of Tom Cleverley side that we expect that we're going to see at home, certainly?
I'm really pleased up until they scored, yeah. And I think that's where we need to, rather than looking at it technically, where we didn't make our clearances, we weren't on the front foot defending, we had a little bit of nervousness. I think if you look mentally, we're going to suffer setbacks. Now that can't impact our performance as much as it did. All right, we've scored an own goal, we've conceded from a set piece, we've took the first punch on the nose. We have to continue the intensity we started with, which I thought was, if you look at the first 20 seconds of the game, it's 4 or 5 duels where we come out on top. Barley ends up 1v1 in their box when we get a long throw and a box entry. First minute couldn't have gone any better. Then we score, for me, looked a perfect goal.
Does it still look a perfect goal for you?
they're both at it. You rarely see goals
given for that
in this league. Maybe with VAR.
Yeah.
So really surprised. But the start for me was excellent. That was what you expect to come and see one of my teams. Intense on the front foot, finishing with final product, and then unfortunately the first goal it had too much of an impact on us, and we went away from everything that we've worked on really, and that's the learning curve for us. Don't mentally lose your way because you're going to suffer setbacks in this league.
I said one question, but you've just learning curve. It's all a learning curve, isn't it? It's your first home game. It's going to be your first away game. It's going to be your first back-to-back Saturday, Tuesday. You know, it's easy for football fans to lose sight of that, isn't it? You've got surely a much larger picture of what's going on than just one game.
Yeah, and obviously I think I'm a very experienced, although 35, I'm very experienced in English football and what works and what doesn't. But for me, one of the, if not the most important thing for the head coach is the balance of the team. So right now, I am just figuring out, are we going a little bit too attacking there? Is that a bit too defensive-minded? We're just fine-tuning those aspects of it until we find that sweet spot of, we're controlling the ball, but we're still being productive. We're on the front foot, but we're shut up shop at the back, solid at the back as well. And once we get those sweet spots, I think we'll be a very, very good football team.